Chap tales. Don't you wanna hear some chap tales? Digga digga bow wow. Hello, how you doing? Okay, so it's time for another chap tales, baby. Alright, so this one is from quite a while ago. Okay, so when I was 17, I got my first car, which was a Ford Ka or Ford car, whatever you want to call it. And this particular day, it was literally 3 weeks after picking the car up. It was a brand new Ka, straight out of Ivory, Ford. Yeah, lovely motor. It was silver, had top rims on it, had a nice spoiler, it had everything. It was the best Ka you could get at that time. Anyway, so yeah, so I'd only had the car 3 weeks. So I was going, I don't know where I was going, but I was going somewhere, and it was like out through Tufnell Park. So I went downstairs, jumped in my motor, drove out the estate, chucked a left onto Burley Road, went all the way down, and then you hit, when you turn right on start off Park Hill, and then that sort of attaches to this massive 5 or 6 exit sort of junction right at Tufnell Park. Anyway, so I started edging, because I was stuck there for ages waiting to get out, and you know what I mean, people just don't let you out. So I'm edging forward. I've come out, like, because the lights are just turning green for the road that I'm pulling into to go. So I'm just edging in, like trying to nudge my way in, like, and then cars usually end up just letting you in or whatever. So I'm pulling across the road, like, so obviously the back end of my motor is still in like the lane of the oncoming traffic or whatever. So there's this big dirty metal Volkswagen camper van thingamajigamy. They're actually quite nice, actually, if they're done up. Yeah, they're nice. Dan in Cornwall, Newquay, all the little surfer dudes have got them and stuff like that. And I think, yeah, anyway, they're nice. But this one wasn't. This one was a big chunk of dirty metal that needed a good old sweep. Anyway, so I'm there. I'm edging in, and the traffic's starting to move forwards because the lights have gone green. And then on the opposite side of the road coming towards us is this big dirty camper van. So when it gets to me, that if you sort of go to the left, you sort of go on to like the mouth of Burley Road, and you could have easily have got past me. But this person has just basically tried to get through the gap, and no, it was just nuts. As he's gone through, his van has hooked itself onto my rear bumper of my car, and they're only like plastic on Kas or whatever, some sort of molded resin, if you like. Anyway, so yeah, so it's going past me, and boom, it's hooked my bumper, and it's just pulled my complete bumper off the back of my car. Oh my god. And at this moment, it was just madness. And like, I know I should have got his number plate or whatever and done it, whatever. This car pulled my bumper off, and then he ain't pulled over to say sorry, or to, do you know what I mean, to swap insurance details or whatever you want to. He has just put his foot down and he's shot up down Park Hill, yeah. And I was sitting there and I didn't have a pen. Do you know what I mean? I had no way of taking his number plate down, and I wouldn't have remembered it and whatever. So he's shooting off up the hill, and I was just like, right, that's it. I pulled my handbrake up, whacked the hazard lights on, turned the key, like took the key out of the ignition so the car turned off. I jumped out of my car and I just started running up Dartmouth Park Hill. Oh my god, I was just like in the middle of the road like I was a car myself. So I'm running. I can see he's getting further and further away from me, and I was just thinking, God, man, I'm never going to catch this geezer, like, and I can't even see his silly little number plate either. And then to my luck, up where the Star pub is, like a load of cars have come off Chetwynd Road onto Dartmouth Park Hill, like, and created a big traffic jam. So this van, this camper van, has had to stop. Like, so he's stuck behind them, like, and I can hear him bibbing them and as well, bib, bib, bib. And I'm running. I don't even know if he knows I'm chasing him, but I'm running up the hill. Anyway, I get up there, and to my luck, the traffic hasn't cleared and he's stuck, basically. And then I go up to the side of, like, his driver window or whatever, and then he's like, looked around, noticed me, and his face just dropped. I walked over to this camper van, like, and obviously in my head I'm thinking, just grab the geezer by his hair, pull him out the window, and just, you know what I mean, have it big time. But I thought to myself, no, there's no point in doing that, you know what I mean? None of this is my fault at the end of the day, you know what I mean? And I'll end up getting arrested, and that's not good. But I could see that the traffic was starting to clear, so I was thinking, God, if I say to him pull over, he ain't gonna pull over, he's just gonna be gone. So, quick thinking, I stuck my arm in his window and basically turned his van off with his key, pulled his key out of the ignition, and I had his key in my hand. And he's just looking at me like, and I was like, I just looked at him and I just said, look, mate, I said, get back down that hill now, all right? And he said, yeah, I'm coming up. I'm coming. I was only coming up here to park my van. I was going to walk back down. I was like, yeah, all right, mate. I said, I've got your key, stick your hazards on and leave your van where it is and follow me. He's like, yeah. So anyway, so I walked back down the hill, and as I'm approaching my car, I've realised what I've done. I've left my car in the middle of the road, like, and it's just blocked every other car from going anywhere, like. And I was thinking, oh God, everyone's going to start having a go at me or whatever, like. But the geezers behind me following me down the hill, like, and like, obviously everybody that was there saw what happened in the beginning, like, so they all know what I was doing, like. And as I'm coming down the hill, I started putting my hand up saying sorry. And then it was so funny because about 6 of them just started clapping. They was all like, yeah. I was like, all right, sweet. So I got down to my car and I basically reversed it back into Burley Road and parked it up, like, and some guy came over to me with my bumper in his hand, and he's like, oh, I got this for you, mate. I was like, oh, cheers, mate, thank you. So I put it in the back of my car, like, and then the guy who, do you know what I mean, whose van I've got the keys to, he's come over to me, like, and I was like, right, look, I want to call your insurance company right now because I need to know that you're doing this because you've already tried to do a runner, you know what I mean? And he's like, oh, definitely, mate, definitely. So we phoned his insurance company and he's admitted liability to everything and that, and like, yeah, that basically all good. And then I took it to Ford the next day, like, to put it in to be repaired, and basically I gave him back his key, like, and I just said to him, you know what I mean, why did you have to do that, like? And I was just like, I'm not gonna make myself angry in any way, shape or form. I'm just gonna say, because, do you know what I mean, like, when I took the car as well back to Ford, like, obviously they said to me it's gonna be about 10 days or whatever, and I was like, oh my God, do you know what I mean, I've only just got my car 3 weeks ago, my first car. And then they said, but their insurance company have said that we can give you a hire car. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, and so it was funny because they gave me another KA yet, but my KA was the one with like leather seats, CD player, electric windows, everything. It was like the top KA you could get off that time, you know what I mean? And then I had to have like an entry level KA as my hire car, like, so it's like a lot of people hadn't even seen my car, you know what I mean, like, so they're seeing me drive around in this other, like, not as good KA, like, and they're coming up to me like, oh, someone told me that you had the good KA, you know, not the entry level one. And I was like didn't even want to tell them about this story, you know what I mean, they can hear it now. But this was like literally when I was 17 years old. You know what I mean? So I'm 43, so you do the maths. But yeah, it was nuts, because I'm so lucky that I did chase him up the hill, because he'd have been gone, and then, do you know what I mean, I would have had to claim on my own insurance or whatever, and then my premium would have gone through the window, you know what I mean, and I would be paying massive insurance. Well, I was already paid, like, I got a year's free insurance with the car, and then you have to pay yourself after that. And I'll tell you what, my second year, what with paying the car back payments and paying this insurance, that was nearly doubling what I was paying each month, you know what I mean? It's ridiculous. But when you're young and silly, I should have had the entry level KA, do you know what I mean? Like, it's like $5,000 cheaper, you know what I mean? It was just like, but yeah, no, but it was, I can sort of smile to myself about it now, but when it happened, I was like, oh my God. Like, and I remember getting out of the car once, I'd like handbrake, hazards, took the key out, and then I just looked down and I could see my bumper on the road, like, and I could see this car shooting off up the hill, and I was like, argh. So I was running as fast and as hard as I could to get up this hill, like, but I to my luck, this traffic happened, and I caught him. Gotcha. But yeah, nutty. All right, well, yeah, that's another chap tale. Yeah, thanks for listening, and like, subscribe, smash bells, comment, all that stuff, and I'll speak to you soon. Nice one. Chat tales. Don't you wanna hear some chap tales?